All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Angel Trade Stock 64. Today we're going to be talking about a strategy where I made $400 overnight. Now, this is not the biggest trade of my life. This is not the smallest trade of my life, but $400 to wake up to on the upside is pretty nice. It allows you to kind of hold other positions or just be a little bit more risky because you have some cushion to work with, which could lead to more gains or at least taking more risk, potential upside with a little bit of cushion already there. And that idea of waking up already in the green is really what we're going to be looking at here. And the strategy, we're going to talk about it. I haven't really put a name to it yet, but essentially, I'm going to show you what the strategy is here now. So if you haven't subscribed already or liked the video, please go ahead and do that. It increases your accuracy of trading by 10% just by leaving one thumbs up. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the strategy here. So the stock we're talking about is AHPI. Now you could do this with different stocks. It doesn't have to be just this one, but what we really looked for was kind of continuation volume and just momentum. So on this day here, after hours, they had some news and it made a big move after hours. And while it was still going up, we looked at it, we talked about it on the channel, and we decided to keep it on watch, but not necessarily make a play. We talked about it this day while it was going up, but since it was already at the highs and it has potential to come down, we decided not to. So this is not necessarily a penny stock, but it is on the lower end of the price range. So $10 and under, that's a lot of range still to work with a company that's not very known or is going up based on hype. If you're talking about a company that's a blue chip company like Apple, you're not going to have as much volatility and you're going to be going to bed nice and comfy knowing that you're holding a good company. But when it's a company that you don't know about and you're playing it based on purely volume and its push that it made, you're going to want to consider a little bit more before you put too much in here. So instead of trying to top tick this, we kind of waited. This day I called it out on the channel that it was kind of quiet. Didn't really make a move that it did yesterday despite having news or just the spike in general. And this company is Allied Healthcare, and they are a mask play, so they make masks. And around this time we had the COVID news of the new variant, so we knew to keep an eye on this one and watch it play. We understood why it was going up here, and the fact that nothing really changed throughout the next day. I mean, the fear was just as real here. It was just much quieter than here, the initial spike. So it looked like it's found its bottom here, so we talked about it at the end of the day, and we decided to make a small entry here. So it was very quiet here, and we figured at the very least it's not going to just go down. Like, COVID isn't over all of a sudden, so it's not going to go down. So we didn't know how much it was going to go up at any time, but you only have to be right once to be in the green here. So we took a chance, and in the morning it had spiked up to 10. Now this is early in the morning, so this is the thing about the strategy. You could be right and then wake up and be wrong. So let's say, for instance, you buy here and it goes all the way back up to here, but by the time you wake up, it's already here. I mean, you're still in the green, but you're not as in the green as if you were and you top ticked it here. Or if, let's say, you start at market hours, you're going to be here. Or let's say you work that day and you come back after hours, you're going to be back at the bottom and miss the entire move. There's a few ways you can deal with this depending on your own situation. If you're afraid that it's going to spike up and come back down, you can set an order to sell, a good to close order. So not just a market day, but a good to close, meaning it's going to stay, that order is going to stay there until it hits. So that'll, even if it just barely touches your limit, you'll sell right there and take profit. Another thing you can do is wake up early in the morning and start keeping an eye on it. This also helps you on the downside in case it comes down. But when you're taking small risk like this, where it's already found its bottom and looks like it's only going to come back up, then it's a safe bet. So this is essentially the strategy we look for. We look for real news, or just momentum, potential short squeezes if the short interest is a lot, and we look for continuation volume. We were watching it this day, and if we would have given up on the stock this day, we would have never saw this. And because we didn't, we were able to catch a wave like this for the entire channel. Everybody who saw that video and who watched it essentially could have taken profits up here. And since this isn't a pop and drop play like we talked about, it's a mask play. Masks aren't going to be overvalued. Like, there's tons of supply for masks. Like you can find masks everywhere, almost every store. The idea is the concept that masks are going to come back or might be needed again. That's what made them spike. The company itself isn't going to be worth way more. They're going to have more demand. But yeah, I mean, the idea that masks are going to be way more expensive or something like in the long term, it's not going to continue to go straight up, which is why we didn't take a position the first day. And we are in paper trading here. So if you ever want to test out an idea, you can use paper trading, not risk any money at all, and test out these ideas. But make sure you look for a good entry. You don't want to just find a stock like this and then buy somewhere here or just hope that it comes up tomorrow. Sometimes you're going to be right, but a lot of the times it's going to force bad habits into you. It's going to instill those into you, and those are going to be a lot harder to get out because you've already had that positive confirmation that you were right. Whereas this one here, we kind of waited for a good entry. We were very calm about it, very objective about it. I mean, if it goes up without us, it goes up without us. If we didn't buy in here and it kept going up, then oh well, we don't take any losses there. But if it comes down and we find a good entry after everybody's sold and then people start buying again, that's when you can really hit. So let's look at it from then. You've had small spikes. I mean, from after hours, if you would use that same strategy here, you would have made a small amount here. Here, this is the downside. So it really is day to day, and this is why you got to just pay very attention. But the COVID fears have kind of gone away. So this is probably, I mean, they're not going away. They're entering new countries, the new variant is, but they seem to be milder conditions. So this is where you would start to like try and see how it's going to impact this type of stock. But there's going to be plenty more of examples of runners. But just because it's a runner doesn't mean you initially just throw all your money or go all in and hope that something good happens, because that's exactly how people top tick these and it comes back down. And it might be a while before it reaches that again. If you would have got it up here and you held it until it goes back up, I mean, you would have barely broke even here as opposed to finding a good entry and then making a $4 move on it. And that's just with 100 shares. That's how it's $400. Imagine if you buy 500 shares at a good entry and it goes up $2, $3, $4. I mean, you're up 2K by the time you wake up. So that's the strategy. Let me know what you guys think. This is a good one for people who are under the pattern day trading rule. If you are above the pattern day trading rule, meaning above $25,000, you don't necessarily have to take a risk like this. You can always wait for the volume to confirm. But for people who are trying to conserve day trades or swing trade in order to make their money to get to that, to break that barrier of entry, this is definitely a good way to do it. So that's going to be for this video. Let me know what you guys think. If you learned anything new from this video, please leave a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate that. So I'll see y'all guys next video. Thanks.